What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Mission Driven Made podcast. This is your host and founder of the Mission Driven Made movement, Jacob Straub. And of course, welcome back to another episode of the Friday Debrief. If you're new today, what we do here at Mission Driven Made is equip your body and empower your mind. And we do this by providing you with unfiltered truth to fitness. Now, if you've been in the fitness industry for any length of time, whether you are a fitness enthusiast or if you are a coach, you probably know how the industry can be a little bit slimy at times. So it's hard to get truth when it comes to fitness or nutrition or anything like that in the industry. So we are here to combat that and provide you with real, honest, and unfiltered truth with fitness. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, an awesome week, and hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. The time this episode comes out, it is going to be about 12 hours or so after Thanksgiving took place. So I hope you guys are having an awesome Thanksgiving. I'm really excited here in Arizona. It's finally starting to cool down a little bit. I will say one thing I miss about living in California, the Bay Area specifically, which is where I grew up and where my wife grew up. It's a bit more seasonal there. So you actually feel the fall, you feel the winter a little bit. It's not extreme or anything, but you do have the nights where it's going to drop down to the 20s and even 30s on a regular basis. Arizona, it's a different story, at least in the Phoenix area. There's a couple months where it cools down and we will have the cooler winter weather, which I love, but it still doesn't quite compare. But regardless, it's really nice to have it a little bit cooler here. So I thought today would be a great time to do an episode for you guys on nutrition tips through the holidays. Now, I know Thanksgiving already took place yesterday. So for those of you, this is going to be more geared toward from now until we'll just say the beginning of the new year. As so many of you know, from I'll say even Halloween all the way up to, I'll say January 7th, maybe the first week or so into the new year, it can be a bit of a binge fest for some people, or it can kind of sneak up on you for others where you're just kind of snacking the whole time and you end up gaining a bunch of unwanted weight and then having to try and combat that during the new year. So we're going to go over a few easy to follow nutrition tips starting from the day after Thanksgiving, which is today, all the way into the new year. And some of these I will do on a regular basis, just depending on what my goals are at the time. So this doesn't necessarily have to be specific to the holidays, but anyways, I do feel it's still going to be very impactful if you follow some of these easy tips here. So number one, eat your protein first, followed by your vegetables, and then followed by your carbohydrate source. Now, why am I suggesting doing this? So we're going to start with why we eat protein first. So whatever's on your plate, whether that's chicken, that's beef, that's fish, whatever it is, start with the protein first. As we eat protein, it is normally the most satiating macronutrient that we have. So it makes us feel more full. So we're going to start with the protein first. Now, number two is eating vegetables. So vegetables also are going to help, especially because they're very voluminous. They're going to take up a lot of space in your stomach. They're going to help you feel more full as well. Now, the thing that I love when I eat more vegetables, it's not just I'm eating something that's healthy. I've noticed throughout my life, and some of you may have noticed this too, there's a correlation for me when I eat a high amount of vegetables, I tend to eat way less processed foods. Now, obviously, people can do both. You can eat a high amount of vegetables, and on top of that, you can eat a high amount of processed foods or just a lot of calories in general. But I have noticed myself when I eat more vegetables, I tend to eat less processed foods. Now, for those of you that have heard of the 800-gram challenge, which is done or which was founded by E.C. Sinkowski of Optimize Me Nutrition. She was on the show earlier in the week. The reason why I love that challenge with eating 800 grams of, well, it's not just vegetables, it's fruits as well. But by doing this, you feel more full and you don't feel the need to then go and overeat processed foods. So protein, vegetables, and then last, your carbohydrate source. Now, for me, I don't always do this, but I like to when I can, is I like my carbohydrate source, especially with my meals. I'd like it to be one that is also satiating. And for me, the most satiating carbohydrates tend to be things like white potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then even fruits can be satiating because of the volume. So protein, vegetables, and then followed by your carbohydrate source. Now, number two, I must admit, number two here is a hard one for me. This one is something that I should practice more. And when I do, I don't ever regret it. And that is chewing your food thoroughly and being mindful when you eat. So no cell phones. Now, why do we do this? So when we thoroughly chew our food, it's going to help us with digestion. It's going to help us or prevent us from overeating as well. So every time you guys pick up that fork or the spoon and you put food in your mouth, now this number is arbitrary, but you get the point. Chew for 20 to say 30 times every time that you put food in your mouth. Like I said, by doing this, you're going to feel more mindful of when you eat, and it's going to prevent you from eating too much. Now, imagine you eat a plate of food, and every time you take a bite, you are chewing it 20 to 30 times. The chances of you overeating or even wanting to go back and get seconds is going to be way less. Now, the reason for no phones, this one's hard for me because I like reading articles while I eat sometimes, but that takes away from the mindfulness when you do eat. So if you haven't done this before, it's probably going to feel a little different. It's going to feel weird. And initially, you might not feel as satisfied, especially if you, on a regular basis, can eat kind of fast like myself. So give this a shot. And like I said, it's going to tremendously help you or prevent you from overeating. So we have eat your protein, your vegetables, your carbohydrates. Number two, chew your food and be mindful. And number three, agree to wait after your first serving of food. So what do I mean by this? When we're eating around the holiday season, I'm sure some of you experienced this with Thanksgiving already, but also with Christmas, what we do, we eat these highly palatable foods that are on our plate, we scarf them down, and then what we do is we get up right away and go and get a second plate. And I know for me in the past, especially around the holidays, there's times where I have one serving, I go up and get number two, eat it real fast, go up and get number three. And this is all within a 10-minute time frame or so. So instead of doing that, eat your serving, eat whatever's on your plate, and make a decision beforehand. You are not going to get up to get another serving until, we'll just say 20 to 30 minutes. Again, that number is arbitrary. That isn't the same for everyone, but make the decision beforehand that you are not going to get up and eat until that 20 to 30 minute time frame. A lot of us, I feel like if we actually wait that long, then we actually have a chance to feel full and again, prevent us from overeating. So agree to just have that one serving and not get up for seconds until about 20 to 30 minutes. Now, number four, I know some people will argue this point, but I feel this has personally helped me a lot through the holidays, is do not fall off your fitness routine. Now, I'm not on here trying to say, don't spend time with your family and friends. Don't enjoy all the festivities or activities that you normally do around the holidays. I want you guys to enjoy that. I really do. But when we fall off our routine with our fitness and then also our nutrition, the beginning of the year is going to come around and it's going to be twice as hard to be able to get back in the routine of things. So don't fall off on your fitness routine. Now, what you can do, this has always worked for me. I do this year round personally, but if you don't, you should give it a shot, is try working out early. You don't need to get up super early, but try working out in the morning if your schedule allows it. That way, you're going to feel better the rest of the day. If you have activities that are going on with friends or family, from there, you're not going to miss it. Now, something else that I love to do during the holidays, and I want to make it a tradition in my family, is plan an activity, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's going on a family walk, whatever it is, plan a physical activity for everyone to be able to do together. A couple of years ago, Me, my wife, my kids, we headed up to the Bay Area. We don't go there too much, but we headed up there for Thanksgiving time to visit family, and of course, just enjoy each other's company over the holidays. And what we did together on Thanksgiving morning was a 5K. And now the point of it wasn't just to try to break your record for your fastest 5K or anything. It's a point that we're all spending time together as a family, and also at the same time we're doing something that is healthy and that contributes toward our fitness goals. So people in my family were walking, some were walking with the dog, some of us were jogging, but we were there together and just enjoying each other's company. Now, if you don't want to do a 5K or commit to anything like that, something as simple as a family walk after dinner. And I don't know about you, but me personally, when I eat a little bit too much food, the first thing that makes me feel better is to get up and go on a nice, easy walk. And so this way you can enjoy each other's company and at the same time get a little bit of exercise in. So do not fall off your fitness routine. If you need to take a Christmas day off, or if you did on Thanksgiving or whatever it is, don't feel bad about taking a few days off. It's not going to be the worst thing. You're not going to lose strength. You're not going to lose muscle. It's not going to be anything like that. It's just, we don't want to go so far the other way to where it makes it almost impossible when the new year happens to get back in the gym or back into our normal fitness routine. All right. And number 5 is water consumption. Now, you've probably heard or read 1,000 times about drink 1 gallon of water a day for health. I'm sure a bunch of you have heard this. Now, it's easy again to say that's just a arbitrary number. It doesn't mean anything, but I actually like this very general recommendation. Now, here's why. I don't think most of us are going to sit there and measure out every ounce of water that we drink. So this gallon of water a day for active people, I feel like that is a fantastic goal to shoot for. Now, if you're someone that drinks a glass or 2 of water a day, I'm not telling you go out there and drink a full gallon of water, because that would be ridiculous. That would be increasing your water intake 100 times or so. So what you can do is just start drinking a little bit more water. What this is also going to do, again, another correlation that I personally like, when I drink more water, I drink less of something like, well, I'm not really a soda drinker or anything, but soda, or for those of you that drink alcohol or whatever the sweet drinks that some of us drink around the holidays, it's going to prevent you from drinking so much of that, because you know how easy it is to just consume so many calories from liquids. So if you're not much of a water drinker, don't worry about actually drinking a full gallon. Just try to drink a little bit more. You're going to feel hydrated. You're going to feel great throughout the day, and it's going to help prevent you from drinking all your calories, especially around, the Thanksgiving meal or Christmas meal or whatever it is. All right. And moving on to number 6, enjoy your holiday meals, but do not allow a 2-month binge to occur. Now, I mentioned this in the beginning of the show. For a lot of us, this can turn into from Halloween all the way until even January 7th. It is eating snacks all the time. It's eating large amounts of processed foods and just overall more calories. So we need to go into this making the decision beforehand that we're not going to do that. I don't want to scare anyone away from having or enjoying one of their favorite holiday meals. I wouldn't want to do that at all. But I am encouraging you is during that in-between time, so all the other days that aren't the holidays, is to do our best to stick to our normal routine. Now, a lot of you have probably heard the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time your calories are coming from whole food sources, and then the other 20% a little bit more processed and things that you really enjoy, some of our favorite foods. I think that's very basic but a great recommendation to take during the holidays, because like I said, we don't want to turn this into a 2-month binge and then come the beginning of January you feel like you're having to work out for hours a day and starve yourself to get back into the shape you were. So everyone, let's go through those 6 real quick. one more time. So number one, eat your protein first, followed by your vegetables, followed by your carbohydrates. Number two, chew your food thoroughly and be mindful. So no cell phones. Number three, agree or make the decision beforehand to have one serving of your food and then wait 20 or 30 minutes. Number four, do not fall off your fitness routine through the holidays. Number five, water consumption. And number six, do not allow for a 2-month holiday binge. All right, everyone, I hope some of these tips help. I know some of them are really simple and you've probably heard a bunch of them before, but if you do struggle with what you're consuming around the holidays, give these tips a shot. And I also would love to know what you think. I'm most active on Instagram, so shoot me a message or a comment there. Let me know how you're doing with all this nutrition. And when it comes to the holidays, I want to hear how you guys are doing. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Midweek Mind Sweat. That is my weekly newsletter. It's a little bit different than most newsletters. It's really short. It's going to be about a paragraph or so. I send it to your inbox every Wednesday morning. And all it is a thought-provoking topic or question. It's designed just to get your mind to expand a little bit on that topic. That's it. I'm not going to send you pages and pages of a long newsletter. I'm sure you guys get plenty of those already. So go ahead and you're going to see a link in the show notes here to be able to describe to Midweek Mind Sweat. All right, everyone. More importantly, I hope you have a great rest of your, a great rest of your Friday, a great holiday season. Love all you guys. Catch up with you soon. And until next time, stay mission driven.